Oh my god.
Shut.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's see.
Let me get you. Studio. What session is this? I don't even know. Let me zoom in on the label. I can figure it out. Hang on. I don't even know. Oh, let me take a picture of the vocal booth. First view of the vocal booth. Burn a hole in my camera. MIDI verb. MIDI verb. Oh yeah, wait. I won't stretch. Say hello to the camera. Hello, baby. Look.
Yo, man. I'm covered in space.
Don't
It's the story. So funny.
I know, he's gonna curl this. Hang on. That's on now.
Wake up, man. Come on. That's so funny.
That's great.
Oh,
shit.
I mean, I was like so sure I could damn well sing that, but the pitch is so high. It's like my throat's just like falling down. Yeah. This is bad. No, really. So, I guess I'll be done. Yeah, it's like short now. Shit, that late. Cool.
Marijuana.
By the way, you're gonna call that guy.
You know that camera.
What do you mean what I do?
Use tomorrow.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
Even if it's for tomorrow's use.
it's a nice use, don't deceive yourself.
Oh yeah. Well, that's great. You move the amps? Yeah. Put it next to the table. Anyway. Just tell me something.
Yeah, let me do you.
Audio amplifiers were
You wanna do me?
this table
Yeah.
was. Hey, queer. Where are they?
Oh, Marinho on the phone. Girlfriend's on the phone. Space. Time to go.
You put it back there?
You can definitely see this guy on the street.
You put the amps where the table was?
You can definitely see him now.
Jesus Christ, I didn't even see it. Well, alright, let's see when I get back. Okay.
Baby.
Alright.
Oh, wait.
I told you, a couple hours. So really, I'm gonna try to run as long as I can.
This is being recorded now?
Yeah. This is being recorded now, Gus. Say hello to the
God,
camera.
if there was more than one, I would have died already.
My forehead.
One.
Let's see how bald. This is for my grandchildren. I don't know how young I was when I went bald.
Just lay down, relax, and wait for me, right? Oh, okay, if you want.
I can't get.
Okay. Give me a call back. Very quick, I'm leaving. Alright, babe. Catch you in a bit, bye. Let's go. Do it.
Okay. I'm gonna get a picture of you going into the closet and we'll record. Hello. Okay. You gonna do it from the beginning again?
Yeah.
Okay. Close the door.
This one?
Yeah.
Just the video?
Yeah. I figured to take recorder. Why not? Close the door. And let me get a shot of me. Zoom in. Come on, close.
That's it.
Okay. Take one. Word.
What do you mean this only records when that's what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
This ain't recording now?
Drug fantasy. Stop. Getting busy. Let's get a shot of the menu. Anytime you're ready, bro.
He was laying high, looking up at the skyscrapers, dreaming all of his life, trying to find a place to be and fight. It's a good reason to survive. Many million of people around him, but it seems you can find why they're being so cold, so plastic. And then here comes the night, chasing the fight where love grows.
About an hour? Probably more.
You know it's good enough for me.
That's great.
I won't even have to sleep anymore.
Same thing for me in a way. Like I could go to sleep at 5 in the morning and wake up at like 7.
What are you doing, man?
Zoom. Look, zoom. Look. Look at the buttons. Look, see that?
Oh, baby.
Kevin style. Come on, get my nipples. Zoom out.
Yeah, you can do that.
Get me here.
You do check out the album. The whole movie.
Let's go. Okay. Cut.
Good wine, you know, we've matured, we've still got a good kick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can still deliver the goods, but after so many years and after seeing so much in all the areas of rock and roll, we may be a little bit more aware of things these days than we were in the early ones, you know.
Now, one of the terms that I see in the criticism that I've read, that is by the critics, and it's not that critical, is that there is a consistency to this album in the sense that there is a theme or thread that runs from piece to piece and not one jangling set of noises followed by another disjointed jangling.
That's right.
How do you accomplish that with a form that's a little bit chaotic, it seems?
Well, I think probably the main reason how this flavour that appears to come through the album as a period is because the original intention that we had was to make a double album for this special 10-year anniversary that we have with our record company CBS, and we want to try and put together something special as a thank you, especially to our fans around the world. But the 2-album deal didn't quite work out, so we were left with maybe 18 or 19 songs, different types of songs, but we culled the 9 tracks that we have on the current album, and I think because of that, because we were able to choose and discriminate and put the whole thing together, it appears to have that overall effect, which of course is very useful, because if it plays through well from the A side through to the last track on the B side, that's an advantage rather than having totally separate pieces, although we do feel it does have that quality.
Well, I'm going to ask you to explain something to me because I'm probably on about the same level of ignorance as our viewers out there on Night Watch, because I don't understand it all. From what I read, there were 2 things that you did that's a little bit unusual in heavy metal recordings. One is the use of the guitar synthesizers, and the other is that you did use digital record. I know a little bit about that. Start out and explain to me how the guitar synthesizer worked and why it's a little unusual in this kind of music.
Okay, well, primarily heavy metal music is essentially a setup of usually 1 or 2 guitars, obviously bass, drums and vocals, and synthesizers, we've always felt until now, have had maybe a little bit of a cold quality to them because it's basically a keyboard-orientated note. You just press a piece of plastic and it just triggers off an electronic signal. With guitar synths, you still have the ability, because you're physically playing the guitar, to, you know, put bend and feel and tremolo and all of the emotional qualities that you would normally do through a physical instrument. And because of that, we felt that we could capture something of the quality of the soulfulness, as it were, as opposed to the straight flat sound of a keyboard synth. And it is new, you know. Yeah. It's very new. It's a departure for us to explore into this territory.
Now, the digital recording. Yeah. Now, that's been explained to me, but I'm not sure I understand it.
Well, neither do I. I'm not the expert, really. All I know is the usual analog.
We expose our ignorance here, aren't we?
The usual. You just put me in front of a microphone. That's my job. The usual way of recording analog-wise is a process of sound going down through sound waves but with digital, it's the sound is analysed so many hundreds of thousands of times by a computer, and it's actually put down in digital sequence, like numerical form.
And then it's laid back.
Let
me ask you, is this what they do when they put the musicians in different soundproof compartments?
That really isn't the true essence of it. No, it's quite complicated. It's been many years in the development. All that really comes out of the whole process at the end result when you put that laser disc, for example, compact discs are now becoming very popular. When you hear that, it's probably the closest, truest essence of form that's physically known at this time.
And so that brings me to the question. It seems to me that in many ways the essence of heavy metal would be the emotion, the chaos, the serendipity. And when you use high-tech methods to make it so perfect, aren't you working at cross purposes?
Well, I think it helps to get the message across even stronger, because I think you are in actual fact capturing everything and not losing the merest breath or anything. It's all going down. It's all coming over to you. You know, there's probably different fors and againsts with how people interpret what heavy metal music is about.
Now, as you well know, some critics said, okay, in doing this, you sort of sold out because you wanted to create music that they'd play on the radio and didn't jangle the nerves.
Well, I think it's fair to say, for any artist, that we're all out there striving to reach as many people as is physically possible. In our form and our style of music, we do have a solid following of an audience, especially in the US, which is our biggest market. But we constantly strive within the band to try and reach as many people as is physically possible. And sometimes that means cultivating certain areas and styles of music.
You don't have any apologies to make at all.
But I would draw the line at saying that we sold out, because we've never done that. If you look at this band's career, this is our 10th album, for example, with CBS, and we feel that we've developed as musicians and artists over the years, and we feel that where we are now is truly representative of how we are in 1986. You know?
Rob, I want to take a break here. When we come back and pick up on that thing.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Low mileage.
We're back with Rob Halford, who is the lead singer in the heavy metal group Judas Priest. Now, we just saw a little bit of that. How is that different from other heavy metal groups?
Well, I think it's fair to say that we've always felt right from day one that we've had an original sound, something different, something individual to offer in the branch of music that we work in, heavy metal. And I think that after all of these many years of experience, we've got maybe something of an edge over the other bands that are currently in the same genre of work. You know?
Now, is it fair to say that you're a little bit less extreme, let's put it, than you used to be? I read a story about you once. I think you rode a motorcycle out on the stage, cracking a bullwhip.
Still do.
Do you still crack a bullwhip over the audience?
Bullwhip these days, Fred.
Why not? Why not?
Well, it was a bit difficult holding on with both hands and doing this, you know.
Someone grabbed that bullwhip one time, didn't they?
I've lost several. Over the years.
And you came and squirted them with a...
Oh, we've been up to all different antics in the early days, you know.
Oh, you've mellowed. You admit you've mellowed.
Maybe. I don't think we can really find the right word as to... I don't think mellow is the right word, you know.
Yeah.
We still do put out a tremendously exciting show with full of entertainment and so many other things.
Yeah. Well, you well know, because you've been on tour here in the United States. That tour's about over, but
Yes.
you've been on tour. That there's a lot of attention being given here these days to drug abuse. And I think it's only fair to ask you if the kind of music that you do doesn't encourage, in some ways, those kids to get out there and dope up.
I think that this is just for my own personal opinion on the subject. I think that as an individual, as an artist, as a member of Judas Priest, I know that I'm certainly responsible to a certain extent for what I do, which is write most of the lyrics for the songs, and of course that's where a lot of people, younger people, generally take the interpretation of the songs from. To the best of my knowledge, in the whole of this band's career and something over 100 recorded songs, we've never advocated the use of drugs. We've never told people to drink. We've never really pushed any specific area onto anyone
Do
that
others
could cause
do
a
that?
complaint. Well, I would hesitate to say that they haven't done that. I know that there are some bands that do go out of their way to really expand on their.
When you're
their
up
use.
there riding around on your hog and cracking your whip, do you smell the marijuana coming out of there? Is it apparent to you?
Occasionally, occasionally, but
You see that change?
well, of course, we've been doing this. We've been touring the US since the late '70s,
And is there any change? More of that, less of that?
I personally feel that it's less. I think a lot of miscredit is given towards younger people these days. Personally, I think that if you look at the majority of the bunch, that they're just as aware of the problems that can be created by drinking and by alcohol.
You know,
and
I
by
read
drugs.
somewhere that you are a non-drinker.
Non-drinker.
And you don't use drugs.
No. No.
Has it always been that way? Or
It's not always been that way. I'll freely admit that I had my problem with alcohol, and I belong to an organisation that helps me now, and I'm into my eighth month of sobriety, which I thank the Lord for, and a whole bunch of people that work with me. But it didn't work for me, and I was lucky to be saved at a crucial moment in my career personally. But I would say that for the most part, just referring back to the younger people, that they're certainly, you know, given miscredit for them. I think that the majority of them are just like ourselves. They're out for a good time. You're young once. You maybe live a fast pace for a few years, but generally you just want to, you know, go out there and have fun.
Speaking about having fun, I read a story about some of the antics that you all have gone through in making your video.
Yes.
And you were suspended over a bear pit at the LA Zoo?
The old LA Zoo. This was brought about by the people that we work with over there in Los Angeles, the two directors and the producers that we've formed a great relationship with. We're always looking out for crazy things to do, Fred, and this was just one of the most recent ones that we worked on.
Well, I would think that with the kind of music you do, if you had an everyday scene before the person, they'd clash. So they wouldn't create the sensation you want.
It's a different sort of medium, you know. The two sides of video work and shows and so on and so forth are two different aspects entirely.
You know, we only have about 2 minutes here, and I've got one more question after this one, but I'm fascinated with your life. You're always on the go. You wrote Turbo, living in Spain, Island Marbella. You've been all over this country.
Yeah.
You can only live in England
England for 2 months of the year.
for tax reasons.
For tax reasons, yes, because it's a very fickle business, as we said at the early part of this interview, and you can only.
Have you saved a lot of money? I mean, you have a lot of money.
Yeah, I think we've only in the last few years made what you would consider to be a substantial reward for the amount of input that.
Is there a hazard of getting a little older in your? I mean, is it?
People might say that now. I just passed my 35th birthday 2 days ago.
Well, I'm not saying
but
now.
It's no, you're not.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, some people say it's a young man's profession, but I think that I think that as far as our following goes, you know, the younger people especially, they see us as being a first-class act, and they enjoy our records, enjoy our shows, and we're going to be around as long as we can keep putting out good records, good shows, and, you know...
Okay, now we only have half a minute there, but on that point, what directions are you going to go, or are you going to keep right on this turbo?
We're still going to go stretching out and, you know, see what else there's left to do in heavy metal, and go to some new countries, hopefully, this year, you know.
Now, when you stretch out, and again, we just have a few seconds, what changes does that involve?
I think it just means expanding as an artist and opening up as many musical doors as is physically possible.
Listen, Rob Halford, we enjoyed this conversation. Best of luck with you.
Thank you, Fred.
We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Still a